Hiya, I hope you're okay. I'm going to do something different this evening and go on a bit of a makeup memory lane tour. I did this on a video chat last week with my friends and I was amazed. Things that I've held on to because they're sentimental, they were going, I had that, I used to have that, it was lovely. So I thought, you know what, maybe you had something from this as well and we'll just go on a little trip down memory lane. Now I should say, I am so good for clearing things out. Like I love giving things to my friends and family. I love, once I've enjoyed something, passing it on. But these are just things that for whatever reason felt a little bit more special to me, and I'm really not a hoarder, so they all have a very special meaning or resonance with me. So the first one I'm going to delve into, it's one of the most memorable makeup launches for me of recent years, and I worked really closely with the team when it was launching and I loved every minute, is the Victoria Beckham Estee Lauder collection. I remember thinking that was just the best thing since sliced bread. I'm a big believer in using things up and don't save for best and all the rest of it. But some of these things I've not touched because I knew I just wanted to remember them forever. Charlotte, Hayley from Estee Lauder, we just had the best time putting all of this together. I used to work at Selfridges and I didn't work for one brand, I worked for Selfridges themselves. So I used to be able to dip into everyone's exciting moments, and like the Estee Lauder Victoria Beckham was just one of the most exciting things ever. This is a bit grubby because I still use this quite regularly, to be honest with you. Modern Mercury highlighter was one of the things that I stockpiled because I knew I loved it. And also this eye foil in Blonde's Gold. It's kind of, I can't explain it. It's a chunky, pearly, iridescent glitter. I remember thinking there'd been nothing like it before, and I haven't found anything like it since. I stockpiled that one as well. Selfridges has loads of lovely memories attached to it for me. One of the next ones that I'd kept is this limited edition Jo Malone box. I've got the bag this came in. I've got two of the bottles. This was a limited edition print of Jo Malone bottles that they did to coincide with the beauty project. My phone has just slipped here. Let me try and straighten it up. The beauty project was a big initiative that was happening just as I joined, and there were loads of exciting events going on across all the stores everywhere. It was a real celebration of beauty, and I just started this new job and there was just, everything was 100 miles an hour. You had this little badge. I think that was part of your ticket to the event. But there's just so many lovely memories attached to that. Working with like my friends in Birmingham, like Michelle, Laura, Jay. I met Sally and Lauren there because Sally was doing events in all of the different Selfridges stores. It was just a really lovely, exciting time. Now, for anyone that I met at Selfridges, you'll know that I was always harping on about, are you on my wait list? Are you on my wait list? Oh my God, this thing is coming out. Are you on the wait list? But I was always on my own wait list, because if I was telling you to get excited about something, it's because I was getting it as well. This is Oh Darling highlighter from MAC. There's an extensive MAC limited edition collection here. So I don't know if I'll get through them all. This highlighter, there was a queue out the Bullring, desperate for people to get it. Everyone wanted it. It went in seconds, and there were just so many MAC collections that were like that. And I'd be going, why is this exciting? And they'd be going, oh, well, it's this limited highlighter that we had years ago and it's just come back. I mean, I spent so much time on MAC. I absolutely love MAC so much. But that highlighter stands out. I love all the limiteds from MAC. I do tend to hoard them. The Selena collection, these again, I'm a big believer in not using anything, but I don't think I've touched any of these. I've got Selena here, just picked out a few. Caitlyn Jenner, well, you can see my whole setup, hang on. Caitlyn Jenner. This wasn't a person, but it's a lovely flowery one. Do any of these ring a bell? Have you got any of these? And let me see where else I'm gonna go. This was a good one. Absolutely. One of my favourite things ever is Pulp Fiction. I just love it. In fact, if you go on to my podcast, there's an episode with Laura Capon and we talk about like iconic movie moments, and there's quite a lot of Pulp Fiction talk actually. But Urban Decay brought out this Pulp Fiction collection, and I remember thinking, that is absolutely wicked. I got everything. Mrs. Mia Wallace lipstick. Let me see, I'm going to open something up to show you. I remember thinking, what colours is it going to be? But wait till you see, it was just all the Mia Wallace classics. Can't speak, I'm getting so excited. But yeah, I'd love to hear if you've got any of this. There's little bits as well that I've kept. So for example, I used to absolutely love, I mean I still love her, but I was unhealthily obsessed with Gwen Stefani. Always dyed my hair really, really blonde, red lipstick, black and white clothes, like literally everything I could do to be like her. And she had these tiny little Tweezerman nail files. How cute are they? So held on to them. This is a nice one. So I found these recently, these Little Mix Elegant Touch nails. One of my first internships, when I graduated, I did a few different internships, and one of them was at Look magazine, and I was doing a shoot one day and it was with Little Mix, and I absolutely love Little Mix, like they're my favourite thing ever. So at this point, they'd won the X Factor, but they hadn't released anything. And I remember the shoot day, they'd all been on holiday, and it was their first time seeing each other since holiday. And they were all really excited to see one another, and they were just absolutely lovely. Start to finish, it was a lovely day. And then about a year later, they launched these nails, and I went as a blogger. I'd only been like the assistant that day. Literally my responsibilities will have been write down everything they were wearing, just make notes basically, nothing too hands-on at all. And about a year later, went to the launch of this. It was a blogger event, and everyone went up to have a picture with Little Mix one at a time. And when I got to the girls, Jade was like, "I remember you, did you do that shoot with us?" And I just thought, I mean, I loved them anyway, but I just loved them even more that you were actually remembered for doing something so small. And because I absolutely love Little Mix now, I'm still thrilled about that. So yeah, I'm chuffed to keep those nails. Karl Lagerfeld for Schumacher, the little shoe pet lashes. He really reminds me of my cat that's now passed away, but I talk about this cat all the time. He was the best thing ever to me. And this was a present from Tony and Michelle at Suki at Selfridges for my birthday. So I've held on to those. This is hysterical. I just found this. So this is Nicki Minaj fragrance, hysterical, great, you know, it's brilliant. And I found the box and I was like, I wonder why I haven't put her in the box. And I knew there was some story with the box. This was limited edition clothing for the fragrance. Let me put it on for you. It's like a bondage outfit or something in the Couture by Nicki box. And I'd kept that bottle. Here we go. I'm going to put her little hat on. And then she has a little outfit too. This is all spilling everywhere. I'd kept that bottle because I remember it was one of the first blogger events I was invited to. And Selfridges in London were opening, like, I wasn't working at Selfridges at the time. They were opening maybe an hour early for bloggers to go in and have the unveil of this fragrance. And I just thought this was all the most magical thing I'd ever heard. And I do love Nicki Minaj at the best of times. So if I can get this on for you, there's her little outfit. So that's not going anywhere. Can I just say, some of these things are like, well, I did my internships in 2012, so at least 8 years old, if not more. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that makes the cut around here. Okay, what am I going to show you next? This is a nice one. This is when Bobbi Brown launched the brand Bobbi Brown, when she was attached to it still. She launched it with a series of nude lipsticks. And this is every single lipstick that she launched with. And this box was from a breakfast I got to go to with her to celebrate 25 years of Bobbi Brown. And I just remember thinking, I just couldn't believe how lucky I was, and it was such a pinch me moment. So Tony, Sophie, Jay, Bobby, if you're there, I have just cherished that ever since. I remember feeling so, so special to be there. Just some little ones that you like, oh, where's that gone, because it was amazing. Bobbi Brown All Over Glow. This was a very luminous gel. I don't know why this went somewhere, because I tell you what, it was incredible. Did you have that? I've got 5 minutes left. I'm really going to have to prioritise here. I've still got some wow things to show you there, don't worry. Estee Lauder and Kendall Jenner Restless. This is very grubby. It was a matte orange red. I remember everyone was so excited about this, and I remember wearing it to work one day, and I got compliments all day, and everyone was like, what are you wearing on your lips? And I was telling everyone this story of Kendall Jenner and Estee Lauder. Loved it. Okay, these are 2 fragrances that just remind me of the best 3 weeks of my life. So when I first graduated, my very first internship in London was at Vogue Beauty. It was with Jess, who's the beauty director now, Nicola and Kelly. They were just so kind and good to me for 3 weeks. I literally never shut up about this week. So Jess had just come back from a trip to celebrate the launch of this new Juicy Couture perfume, and she let me have it. So obviously I smothered myself in it every day. And even now that smell just reminds me of like, what am I going to wear? I wonder what's going to happen today. Everything was just so exciting every single day. This whole new world to me. And I just love that smell so much. I absolutely love Juicy Couture fragrance. I've got such a special soft spot for it because of that. And then they had given me some things as a thank you at the end of my 3 weeks that I could have. I've still got so much of it. Like, I remember getting this bag home and saying to my sister and my mum and my dad on the phone, because I was commuting every day from London to Birmingham, and I was like, wait until you see, I've got all this makeup and stuff to play with. And this bottle, I remember thinking, I have never seen anything so decadent in all my life. I don't even know if you can still get it. It's Aqua Orient by Van Cleef and Arpels. It's this very light, clean smell, and it was summer as well. It will have been June or July. This is 2012, and it just reminds me of just feeling really, really lucky. So I love those fragrances. Rohit, if you know him, absolutely mad about beauty, buys one of everything to use and another one to keep. He got me this for, I don't know if it was Christmas or my birthday, something special. This is the Master Palette by Mario for Anastasia Beverly Hills. Hands down, the best palette of all time. Absolutely love it. I do use this because it's too nice not to be used, but I wish I had millions of them. I would love this to come back. It is such an icon. I've used it on, I think, every bride since I've had it. It's the best thing ever. My first job when I graduated and did my internships was at Illamasqua. It was the best time ever. I absolutely loved every minute of it. And my favourite ever perfume is Illamasqua Freak, which you can now no longer get. I love this smell. I love the bottle. It sits on its side. You've got the little snail on there. And the smell, I mean, I love it anyway. It's very mysterious and dark, and there's a really strange story attached to it. All of the flowers bloom at night that are in this fragrance because they attract their prey with their scent and not their appearance. It's all fascinating. Azzy, who made it, is on my podcast as well. Go and have a listen to her episode. But it just reminds me of being terrified of like, oh my God, I've got my first job. What am I doing? I don't have a clue. And I love it so much. I'm going to finish with Bobbi Dazzler. No, sorry. I'm going to quickly show you. Sam at Illamasqua made me this mirror by hand, and I've kept on to that. Sam, who's now at NYX, you'll know her if you're there. I've treasured it ever since. I've got to include a set of Peaches No. 2 lashes. Still my favourite now. They were my favourite at the time. Peaches is where I learned makeup and always will be my favourite ever beauty place and phenomenon of all time, the best place ever. Mariah Carey for MAC is the most crazy, hysterical, brilliant collection ever, and I've kept every last thing. And that's the trip down memory lane. I hope you enjoyed, and me and Mariah will see you again very soon.